بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد الصادق الوعد الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين ورضي الله عن أصحابه وأحبابه وأتباعه إلى يوم الدين وعنا معهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته, and welcome to the last session of today. Alhamdulillah, full day. And of yesterday, we are going through the book of love, the first chapter, still in the awakening of self-realization, and we are at 51. And unfortunately, we won't be able to finish everything, but the frame that we want to set. Number one, that Allah Ta'ala did not ask us to worship Him with our mind and bodies only, but also with our hearts. And that the worship with the mind and body is going to be deficient, because worshiping is loving, and loving is worshiping. Love itself is an act of worship, as the Prophet ﷺ says in Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith Anas, you all know it. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه. One of you would not be a believer until I am more beloved to him or her than so and so and so and so. And the Hadith al-Imam Muslim, where Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells you that لا تؤمنون حتى تحابوا أولا. You will not attain Iman until you love awwala. Awwala means in the first place, meaning the very first building block of Iman is love. Hence, we can easily conclude from that. And before I enter number 51, the aphorism that worshiping is loving by definition. And a worship that's void of love is no worship at all. And I'm not talking about rational love. I'm not talking about you logically love Allah Ta'ala. We understand that. I need to love Allah because I need to go to Jannah. Jannah is with Him. He gives me Jannah. If I don't love Him, I won't go to Jannah. We understand the whole business. The whole shebang about the business transaction, we understand. That's not the point. Why do you think the Prophet ﷺ told you in Sahih al-Imam al-Bukhari, Hadith Anas, until I am more beloved to him or her than their parents and their children and all people? Let me ask you this. Do you love your parents the same way you love your children? Do you love your children and your parents the same way you love other people? Everyone's got different love. Love has actually different shades in a sense. You love your parents one way, you love your children another way, you love your spouse another way, you love your friends another way, you love your neighbor another way, right? Everyone's got a different love. Like an Nabi al-A'zam sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in this hadith he's telling you what? Until I am more beloved to him. All that love, and then all that love combined as a sum, but even further than that. Let me ask you this. When he tells you in the hadith that I am more beloved to him than his children, those of you who have children, do you love your children from a rational perspective? Say, you know what? That child has got my DNA, and I need to love him. I mean, after all, he's my DNA, and he even looks like me, so I gotta love him because he looks like me. And he's got my DNA. Or do you have an outpouring love from your heart, not just from your mind? Are we on the same page there? So once we restrict the love of the Prophet ﷺ or the love of Allah Ta'ala in the first place to only a logical negotiation of what's in it for me, I need to, if I do this, if I say I do this, okay, I'll get this in return. Okay, I do this then. Sure. What do you mean to say? Right? Because we've changed the point that orthodoxy and orthopraxy are two different things. They ought to confirm with each other to make it that orthodoxy means or as good as orthopraxy. You don't have to practice what you believe. You're good if you believe. So long you assent to the belief, you're good. Seriously dangerous issue. That's why I'm saying to say worshipping, then from this hadith, worshipping is loving, because قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Right? يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. And you should always, many times I get these questions. How come Allah says, if you, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. How come, which means say, if you love Allah, follow the Prophet, Allah will love you. How come? When do you follow the Prophet of Allah? When do you believe he's a Prophet? Is only when you believe that La ilaha illallah, that leads you to Muhammadun Rasulullah. Isn't that correct? So maybe the ayah in some of our minds should have said, if you believe in me, follow my Prophet, Allah will love you. That makes sense. If you believe in me, follow him, I love you. If you believe in Allah, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Not قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. If the ayah was to say, the ayah did not say that. The ayah said, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ. Which means, say if you love Allah, follow me, Allah loves you. But maybe to our minds it makes sense. Say if you, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. If you believe in Allah, follow me, Allah loves you. Natural, makes smooth transition. Believing in La ilaha illallah leads you that Muhammad is Rasulullah. If you believe in that and you follow Muhammad Rasulullah, you'll attain Allah's love. Natural. Very nice. Al-Quran did not make that notion. Why? To tell, he substituted قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ with قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ. Substituted. Say if you believe in Allah would say to them if you love Allah. That substitution is there and left the rest of the statement the same. Meaning, then follow me, Allah loves you. To tell you what, tu'minun means tuhibbun, and tuhibbun means tu'minun. Meaning worshipping means loving, and loving is by definition an act of worship. When you love Allah Ta'ala, that is by itself, and I don't mean now the rational love. We've talked about that for the past 2 days. I don't think we need to go there. But I mean a love that is actually transforming and illuminating and inside of you, that actually moves you and changes you and illuminates you and purifies you and makes you more transparent. That is by itself an act of worship. Loving is worshiping, worshiping is loving. By definition.